when you're multiplying a number by tens, hundreds, or thousands, you're going to start to notice a pattern. So let's go through that pattern. We've already kind of talked about it before. So if I have 3 times 1, well, that's easy. It's just 3. We know 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 100 would just be 300. And 3 times 1,000 would just be 3,000. Now if I switch those numbers so that the 3 keeps getting bigger and the 1 stays the same, instead of the 3 staying the same, guess what? We're going to end up with the same answers. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 30, 30. 1 times 300 is just 300. And 1 times 3,000 is 3,000. So hopefully you're starting to see a pattern here that when you're multiplying with zeros, really what you're doing is you're multiplying the two numbers. So 1 times 3 is 3, and then just adding that 0 as kind of a place value holder. So 3 times 1 is 3, but we add those 2 zeros, and that's where those 2 zeros come from. The same thing down here, 1 times 3 is 3, there's our 3, and then we add our 3 zeros, and we get 3,000. How do you do it when there's not a 1 in the problem like we see over here? Well, the same theory still applies. So if I do 5 times 4, just kind of like we did 3 times 1, 5 times 4 is 20, and then just like we did over here, 3 times 1 is 3, add my 3 zeros, I can just add, and I'm going to cross that out each time I add one, because that's going to come in handy later. So these 2 zeros actually represent the place values that those 2 zeros hold. So when you're multiplying bigger numbers, if they end in 0, they have to end in 0. If there's 2 zeros in the middle and there's a 1 at the end, it doesn't work. They have to end in 0. If they end in a 0, then you can multiply the two numbers and then just add the zeros in the end. Let's do another example, maybe into the thousands. So I have 3,000 times, let's say 5. So I'm not even going to look at those zeros right now because it ends in 0, so I'll be fine. I can work on that later. I'm just going to multiply my two numbers that I have, so 3 and 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring that down, and then my zeros hold the place for the rest of them. So 5 times 3,000 is 15,000, but an easy way to do it is just 5 times 3, bring down your 15, and then add your zeros afterwards. And that's how you multiply tens, hundreds, and thousands.